Hi there, welcome. I'm Christine Weber. I love supporting mature yoga teachers, getting their wisdom out there into the world. And this is my weekly live stream. So thank you so much for being here. Today, I want to talk about 5 things you can do, you can weave into your chair yoga classes to improve the function of the vagus nerve and support vagal stimulation, vagal functioning. The vagus nerve is becoming really popular. I remember about 15 years ago, I started studying it. It's kind of always like that. It sort of hits academia first, and then it gets out there into the mainstream, 10 or 20 years later, although that's probably not going to change with what's going on right now with tech. But it's still, the vagus nerve is like something that's trending. Like people are finding out about it. They're understanding how important it is for their health and well-being. They want their yoga teachers to share with them how yoga can support the vagus nerve. And yoga is one of the most amazing things you can do for the vagus nerve. And we're already doing tons of stuff for it. So if you have students who are like, oh, I heard about my vagus nerve and I want to do things that will help my vagus nerve, assure them that they're already doing lots of stuff in your classes, but here are 5 specific things that might be helpful for you. So let's go ahead and get started. If you got a chair, great. If you don't, you're welcome to sit on the floor, of course. So the first practice I want to show you is a gentle twist. Now the dorsal branch or the dorsal circuit of the vagus nerve is below the diaphragm, right? And that is the rest and digest part of this nerve. It's largely unconscious, but we can stimulate it. So the forward bends that we do and the twist poses that we do are especially really good for stimulating. And you want to bring your mind to the area. That's one thing that's so different about yoga than other forms of exercise. We use the mind to support whatever we're doing. So a simple version of a twist here. And the thing is, you want to be careful with twists in chair classes because like these kind of twists where you're grabbing the chair and yanking yourself, it's like, that's not necessarily the best thing for many people who come to chair classes, but that's okay because we have our breath. So you can take the arms out to the side, take a breath in. And as you exhale, engage the lower abdomen, keep your focus there, and just lower your hands down so that your right hand comes to the outer edge of the left hip and the left hand just rests on the chair. Use your belly to work the twist or to give that stimulation to the abdominal organs. And then as you inhale, come up out of it and exhale to the other side. And you're using, again, drawing in the secondary musculature of exhalation below the navel to draw in and stimulate those organs. And then arms come out to the side, deep breath in, and you just can go a few times side to side, right? And then on the last one, you can stay in the pose. Do inhale, lengthen, exhale, go back to your belly. You keep going back to it, and abdominal engagement. And that's a way to continue every exhale. It's continuing to stimulate the organs, but also the dorsal branch of the vagus nerve that's there. So just take a moment when you're finished to rest and notice all of those sensations in the belly from the work that you just did. Now, the number 2 is assisted neck stretches. So there are afferents of the vagus nerve comes out of the medulla, and then there's afferents bilaterally on the neck. And actually, they're quite close to the skin, which is one of the reasons you're seeing all these new vagal, well, you might not be seeing them. I'm seeing them. There are a lot of new vagal stimulating devices out there that you put around on your neck. I guess because I research the vagus nerve a lot, I get them. And that's because the afferents are close. The little branches of the vagus nerve are close to the skin. So just even like a little bit of massage, we'll do that in a moment. But the neck stretching can be really nice. And the reason I'm calling it assisted neck stretching is where you use the hands. I'm not a huge fan of this. I just don't think that's that useful or safe for the neck. But we could put the hands, the fingertips just below on the fascia here, just myofascia, just below the sternum, the clavicle. Take a breath in. And then as you exhale, lateral bend the neck. So left ear towards left shoulder. And then I can start doing just a little playing with flexion extension. So I'm just nodding my head yes. right? As I'm gently drawing down. I'm just getting all of the stretch all through that side of the neck. And then release your hands down, take a breath, because the other big piece is increasing interoceptive awareness, and that happens when we stop and notice. So notice how the right side feels different than the left side. And then we'll do the left side. So fingertips below the clavicle, take a breath in, and then right ear towards right shoulder. And again, just a little bit of side to side as you're gently pulling on the skin down from the clavicle. Felt something crack. That was good. Okay, and then when you're ready, lift your head back up. So that's number 2. There's lots of different ways you can work with neck stretches, but just letting people know that this is an area, gently stretching that area is really nice for the vagus nerve. Okay, the next one is face massage. Now, believe it or not, I learned these techniques. I'm going to come up a little closer. I learned these face massage techniques from my Indian yoga teachers like more than 30 years ago, 35 years ago. So these techniques, my teachers never talked about the vagus nerve, but now we know that these techniques are really, really, really stimulating for the vagus nerve. So the first one, I usually rub the hands together. You can do eye palming. Eye palming is great for the vagus nerve too, just calming down the nervous system, parasympathetic. But then the specific techniques, massage from the center of the forehead to the sides. You can do some circles on the temples here. Hey, if you're here, by the way, I see a couple of people here. Feel free to leave a comment or ask a question, because that's helpful. Not only, so I know what you want, but it's also helpful for the algorithm. And then the next one is from the nose. You slide across the cheekbones. And there's some really important acupressure points right underneath the pupil. If you go straight down from the pupil and push up into the bone, nice acupressure point for this area of the face, but it also can relieve sinuses. It's just stimulating for the parasympathetic nervous system. And then the next stroke is like a mustache. Just go from the center to the sides. If you already have a mustache, you maybe go a little deeper. All of these techniques, by the way, are light. They're not deep massage. And then from the chin, like a little clown smile. And they're also meant to be helpful lymphatically, to help with lymphatic drainage. Okay, so those are 4 techniques you do on the face: side, 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 and side, from the center to the side. And then you can always do circles on the temples too. And then the next one is the ear, because the vagal afferents are super, super dominant in the ear. And we're just going to do a little pulling out to the side. I have a friend who does auricular, she's an acupuncturist. She does auricular acupuncture. She was saying it's just amazing for the vagus nerve, and she helps many people to reduce that sympathetic activation just with needles. So needles are great, but we can also just do it ourselves with giving some tugging. The other specific place in the ear is the ear lobe. So you pull down gently on the ear lobe. I'm wearing earrings today, but I'm just pulling down gently. And then the other place is in the canal. You use your index fingers in the canal. Wait till I tell you so you can hear. And then you push down. You push down from the canal, because that's a special part where the vagus nerve innervates the ear also. But any ear massage is good. Okay, and there's lots of other things we can do with self-massage, but just for now, we'll stop there. That's just a face and ear massage. So again, you want to go back and notice, how did that feel? So taking a deep breath in and noticing all the radiant sensations. Okay. Now, I have 2 more techniques to show you. The first is a progressive exhale. You'll see lots of things all over the internet about, you want to do square breath, or you want to do 4-7-8 breath, or everybody's got their special breathing technique. But what most of them don't teach you is that you need to get to breathing techniques progressively. So we're going to do a 4-8 breath progressively. So 4 counts in, 4 counts out. Engage your belly a little bit. Again, that's a little bit of stimulation, the vagus nerve. 4 counts in. And 5 counts out. And you can also engage the back of your throat a little bit with ujjayi. That helps. 4 counts in. 6 counts out. And by the way, you could always do these 2 or 3 times each. That's even better. 4 counts in. 7 counts out. And then 4 counts in. And you can go faster than me or slower than me, of course. And then 8 counts out. And that progressive movement till you get to 4-8. Then, by the way, when you get to 4-8, stay there. Do it 5-6 times. I have done this many times in chair yoga classes, and people just fall asleep. So, which is fine. It means they're tired. But that progressive lengthening is much less threatening to the nervous system, so it's less likely to go into that fight or flight response and more likely to start to tune into. Now we're working a little bit more with ventral vagal. The ventral vagal is above the diaphragm, but it stimulates the dorsal vagal, which is below. So it stimulates the rest and digest response that so many of us need right now. Okay, so that's technique number 4. The 5th technique I want to show you is Bhramari, which you probably know this. It's humming breath. So breathe in, exhale, make a humming sound, low pitch. And that's a good one to do after the progressive lengthening of the exhale, because now your exhale is feeling comfortable being a little bit longer. You add that, you add the humming sound, and now it's, it's really incredible, because the humming, not only is that a long exhale, but also it's coming right into the vagal afferents that innervate the larynx, the voice box. So another way of stimulating is with that humming sound. And then you can do humming with your fingers on the tragus, that little bit of cartilage. So we get the ear stimulation on top of it and the ear canal. So you have like this lovely multi-layered technique that helps to stimulate the vagus nerve. So those are my 5 techniques that you can weave into any chair yoga class. I hope it's helpful for you. I'd love to hear from you. I see a few comments. Thank you. I will respond to those when we finish. I'll be here again next week. Let me know what else, what other topics you want to talk about. I love talking about neuroscience and yoga, of course. That's one of my favorites, but chair yoga is also really important to me. Thank you so much. I'll see you next week. Take care.